This is the thing that should be important to us. What we are filled with, what we are receiving, what we are spending our time on. As Jesus was speaking, one of the Pharisees invited him home for a meal. So he went in and took his place at the table. His host was amazed to see that he sat down to eat without first performing the hand washing ceremony required by the Jewish custom. Then the Lord said to him, "You Pharisees are so careful to clean the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside you are filthy, full of greed and wickedness, fools. Didn't God make the inside as well as the outside? So clean the inside by giving gifts to the poor, and you will be clean all over. What sorrow awaits you, Pharisees, for you are careful to tithe even the tiniest income from your herb gardens, but you ignore justice and the love of God. You should tithe, yes, but do not neglect the more important things. What sorrow awaits you, Pharisees, for you love to sit in the seats of honor in the synagogues and receive respectful greetings as you walk in the marketplace. Yes, what sorrow awaits you, for you are like hidden graves in a field. People walk over them without knowing the corruption they are stepping on." Teacher, said an expert in religious law, "You have insulted us too." And what you just said. Yes, Jesus said. What sorrow also awaits you, experts in religious law, for you crush people with unbearable religious demands and never lift a finger to ease the burden. We are so careful to clean up nice. For example, I got my nails painted, hair nice and laid, makeup on point, baby. The outfit is here, but the inside, it says, but inside you are filled with full of greed and wickedness. But the inside is filthy. The inside is unclean. The inside is dirty. All right, why do we neglect the inside of us? The world cares about the aesthetics. We're so concerned about the clothes, the shoes, what it looks like, you know, how we are presented in public. We care about people's opinions and we care about the attention we get. But God tells us that he sees you. He knows your thoughts. He knows what's in the inside of your heart. And he knows how you truly feel. And that's what disgusts God, when our inside is full of greed, wickedness, our mind is corrupt with the negativity, the negative things. Our mind needs to be on one accord with Jesus in how God thinks. We are a reflection of Christ. Our minds and our hearts need to be on one accord. This is Luke 11, verse 23. Anyone who isn't with me opposes me, and anyone who isn't working with me is actually working against me. So our minds, our hearts need to be on one accord. We need to have a desire and hunger and thirst for Jesus in our minds and our hearts, so that we can please God, so that we can work with Jesus and not work against him. You're either with it or you're not. God is saying, don't get caught up in the attention that you're getting from your appearance. And don't get caught up with the appearance. Your appearance is not the most important thing. God is. You think we're going to be judged by the outer appearance? Humans do that. We confuse God with humans all the time. Humans judge you on what you look like. You ugly, they don't want to talk to you. You know, you too short, they don't want to talk to you. Too tall, you this, you that. That's a y'all thing. That's a human thing. That's a human nature thing. Y'all worry about what he look like. Does he brush his teeth? Is his teeth yellow? Is his teeth, you know, y'all worry about that. The cricket teeth, the braces, the gap. Y'all worry about that stuff. God is saying, what's in your heart? He knows your thoughts. That's what you're going to be judged by. Did you help the people, your neighbor, your sister, the stranger? Did you help people? Did you love on people? Or did you turn your back? Did you give money to the poor? Did you tithe? Did you help your church? That's what we're going to be judged on. What we did on earth, not what we look like. Luke 16, verse 9. Here's a lesson. Use your worldly resources to benefit others and make friends. Then when your possessions are gone, they will welcome you to an eternal home. If you are faithful in little things, you will be faithful in large ones. But if you are dishonest in little things, you won't be honest with greater responsibilities. Excuse me, y'all. Sorry. And if you are untrustworthy about worldly wealth, who will trust you with the true riches of heaven? And if you are not faithful with other people's things, why should you be trusted with things of your own? No one can serve two masters. For you will hate one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and be enslaved to money. Here we go. The Pharisees, who dearly loved their money, heard all of this and scoffed at him. Then he said to them, oh, Jesus wasn't playing no games. Ooh, I love me some Jesus, because he was that man. He stood on business and he meant it. He meant every word. It says, you like to appear righteous in public, but God knows your hearts. What this world honors is detestable in the sight of God. What about how you look to God? Why do we forget that part? That God sees the middle, beginning, and the end of our lives, of our thoughts, of our hearts, of our ways, of our actions. But you're so concerned about how you look to somebody else because you want somebody to like you. You're so concerned about how you look to other people because you want to be wanted, because you want attention. Priorities are messed up, and we have to get them in order now. Let me tell y'all a little secret. Anytime, this is how I mess myself up, and I am so glad that I realize it. Anytime I'm concerned with worldly business, concerned with online, what other people are doing, the trends, anytime I am concerned about that, or I consume it, especially for a long period of time, I start to compare. I start to think that these things matter. And that's why I read that scripture when it was talking about the eye and the light. It says, if you are filled with light and no dark corners, then your whole life will be as radiant as though a floodlight were filling you with the light. But it said, be careful with your eye. So what I'm seeing online, like, affects me more than I realize it. Because I'm looking at these things, and I'm looking at a lot of materialistic things, and I've been trying to change my algorithm to looking at things that are helpful. But like, a lot of people online, they post materialistic things, and it really affects me, because it brings, I start to compare. I start to feel like I got to do things this way. And I'm like, when was the last time I just asked God? Instead of trying to do a trend, or it's nothing wrong with trends, but I'm saying, instead of worrying about how the world is doing things, when was the last time I asked God how to do stuff? How do I do things? Like, instead of worrying about what people are doing. When I say the world, I mean people outside, like everybody outside, what the world doing, like online, the trendy stuff. Instead of focusing on that, like, when was the last time I just asked God? And hopefully this can help somebody out. But sometimes we got to take it to God and open up our Bibles. Take it to God and open ourselves up to prayer. Take it to God and open ourselves up and fast, instead of trying to find answers online